so I am back with another video. I'm so sorry that I kind of disappeared, but I'm back and I have a special surprise for y'all. I am gonna do my first collab. Yay! So I watch this YouTuber. The thing she usually talks about is comic book stuff and TV shows, which is stuff I'm into. And so I'm like, and there's one of our favorite TV shows has a lot to review because season 4 premieres in 11 days. Yes, I am talking about Titans. And so we decided what better time than to talk about, we're gonna talk about theories, the things that annoy us the most about the fandom, the racism that Diep has faced, the facts that ignorant fans don't know, and what we want to see. And I'm gonna show her some of the stuff that I found because she couldn't find a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, but I did. So I'm gonna explain some of the stuff to her. As you might notice, this is not my usual background. I called up Iyana, I was like, excuse me girl, hi, can I use your room to film my video? And she's like, yeah, sure, just come on by. So thank you, Yanni. She also has a YouTube channel, so go check it out. It's your girl, Yanni, right?
Yeah.
So I will put it in the description box below, and I'll probably put it right here if I'm good at editing at this point. So yeah, we are going to now meet up with our girl Sada. And Yanni, do you want to say anything or say hi?
Hi.
Okay, and without further ado, let's get into it. So hi.
Hello, hello. Hello.
Oh my God, it's like you're watching a video.
I know, right? Hello, potential viewers. Hello. We are here today. My first ever collab. I'm super excited.
This is the amazing Sada. Yay! At 500 subscribers.
I know, right?
A girl can dream. And so yeah, we're gonna talk about Titans. We're gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about. You had it written down, right?
Yes, I have it written down. We can start with theories concerning season 4, concerning DickKory, anything in between. What are your theories? Because I didn't have any until we talked yesterday. So.
Yeah, we basically we became friends. So let's point out some viewers.
Right?
We became friends over the course of yesterday. How? We don't know.
It just happened, and it was.
We had a business call over Instagram and at 12, and it lasted until 11 p.m.
Yes, that was a day. Season 4 is right around the corner, guys. We are both really, really excited, and just a disclaimer: we are both DickKory fans. So,
if you're not, get off the channel.
No, don't get off the channel. We just know that we're DickKory shippers, okay? So we do want to.
So I'm always going to be DickKory shipper. If wherever Kory wants to go with her best interest, I stand. Unless it's the therapist guy, then we don't stand. But that's
no.
Just don't.
I hope he never comes back.
Anyway,
did you have any theories concerning season 4? Anything?
Well, I have a theory about the marketing. So, well, as we know, that they announced very early on that the main villains for the season were going to be Brother Blood and Church of Brother Blood, and then Jake was going to be a recurring kind of villain, but she's kind of be like chaotic neutral, like she's switches sides. But in the trailer, we didn't see a lot of Sebastian Blood. We barely saw another Church of Blood. We saw a lot of Lex and Luthor, which was really confusing at first because I'm like, I could have sworn that they said that Lex Luthor was only going to be in like an episode or 2. So I'm like, why is it most of the trailer is about Lex Luthor? And so someone points out on Twitter, hey guys, it's me. I'm editing this video right now. Please do not pay attention to I look like I was not in the mood today. So I was just editing and I realized that the theory I said, I guess Sada wasn't recording before I said it because we had to switch over. So I'm just gonna say it right now so you guys aren't confused. The writers, they gave the synopsis for the first 3 episodes, and the theory is that in the second episode, synopsis starts off by saying that after an unexpected demise, Connor lands up in prison, which we did see in the trailer. And then people notice that Lex's name, like he's not mentioned episode 2 or episode 3. So there is a theory that Lex is gonna be the unexpected demise and that Connor is gonna be blamed for the murder. So that's why we think that Lex is not in the series for long. And like they said, it's only for an episode or 2, which makes total sense because, like I said, even though the trailer shows a lot of Lex, it doesn't seem like it's a lot of Lex in multiple episodes. It seems like Lex in just one episode, and it would make sense as to why Connor would be blamed for the murder, why he's in prison, and why we don't see Lex for the rest of the synopsis. So yeah, that was just a theory. So back to the video. Bye. Like, wait, that makes total sense.
That would be good. I really hope they didn't lie, because, you know, sometimes the people running Titans, they like to lie, or have a little exaggeration. Oh, so I hope Lex really only has a small role in the show, because I just, we have enough going on. And while I love that Superboy has a purpose now and something to do, this is about brother blood. So let's keep it about brother blood and the Church of Blood. So season 4 is right around the corner, as we said. You know, we are both really, really excited, but we could take it back, you know, rewind the clock and really just give maybe a quick overall thoughts on seasons 1 through 3. I mean, what led you to watch this show initially?
The reason why I'm a nerd is because of my father.
Great.
And so I remember when this show first came out. Like, I wasn't really into DC at the time because I was still more of like the Marvel fan, and I was just getting into the Flash. But last winter, I was back home during break because I'm in college right now, and my stepbrothers and I, we were watching like the Teen Titans cartoon. So we were watching it and I was enjoying it, and then the live action just for some reason popped into my head. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that show. So then when we were finished watching it, I went back to my room and I went on HBO Max and I saw it was on there. So then I just started watching it, and then I fell in love with it.
Like I said yesterday, I am a DC head. So when I heard the news of this show coming out, I was super stoked. I wasn't stoked that initially it was on DC Universe and not really just put to HBO Max. I think that kind of lessened people's excitement, because it's like, I have to purchase this thing to even watch it. But once it went to HBO Max, I binged. It was wonderful. Outside of season 2, that's a blur. But otherwise, it was great. It's been a ride. And honestly, it can only go up from here. Everything looks great, what they've been giving us, what they've been telling us. So I just hope for the best, because I want nothing but the best for Titans. Like, come on. What do we want for season 4? Do we have any wishes?
See, it's hard because a lot of the things I want, I'm actually getting, so I'm kind of excited. Like, I wanted Dick and Kory, I wanted Gar to get a storyline, I wanted his super suit, I wanted a villain that actually posed a challenge that wasn't anything to do with the Batman.
Yeah.
And that's getting all that. Superboy, as people are pointing out, is super powerful. And they're like, why haven't they used him? Well, Superboy is actually vulnerable to blood magic. So there's actually a villain who's like powerful enough to blast their strongest member and stop them in 1 second. So it's like this one. I'm like, how are they going to defeat them? I actually have no idea.
I guess that's where Jinx may come in. I mean, she's typically a supervillain, so I don't know how long her team work with them is going to last. We'll see. I'm excited for Gar to finally have a storyline, finally have some development. Like, the fact that Ryan co-wrote episode 4 is very, very, it's such a confidence booster. I'm super excited to see that particular episode. The 1st and the 4th and the 5th are going to be the ones that I'm looking out for. And just the fact that Superboy is going to have something to do, because the writers have always struggled with that since he was introduced. It's going to be magnificent. I'm so excited.
So that's a little picture of Dick where he looks like a golf dad. That's this.
Oh my god!
People think it's a hallucination. Because Kory, okay, Dick, I might not put a past in the word outfit that badly, but Kory, that what she had on, it wasn't bad. It was just that, like, have you ever seen Kory with a headband on? Like a colorful headband? I don't think so.
Actually, never.
And that was literally around the exact same time both of those pictures were sent out. And once again, we don't see any other people wearing those weird family-like clothing. So people have a theory that Dick's gonna have a lot of hallucinations. You see, they're filming at the same location, but do we have pictures of them actually together? No.
They said we gotta be strategic when we meet the fans. We gotta be strategic so they don't call us out.
It's the headband. It's like, Kory, what are you wearing? You look gorgeous though, Mama. You look gorgeous.
The hair, perfect. Amazing.
But once again, what are you wearing?
This first episode, I already know it's just gonna freaking...
I'm gonna
die.
I'm gonna sort of video right here of my reaction when I first...
So, finally, they dropped the trailer for Titans Season 4. And I go on Twitter. The first thing I see was Dick and Kory they were the boy, and Kory like laid her head on his shoulder, and I literally screamed. I literally screamed. And the cuteness level was just too much for me to handle. This season looks so good. But oh my god. That's it.
It took me out. It really did. It was giving golf that Sunday.
I just love how Dick, with each season, looks more and more like a dad. Like, even from the first season he did, but it's like times 100 now, and it's just great. It's just wonderful to see. I was like, when would he wear that? Like, ever? I've never seen him wear anything outside of...
I've never seen him wear anything with color.
Yeah, like, never, actually. I'm trying to think who really wears the brightest colors amongst the two.
Gar.
Yeah. Immediately Gar. And then second will be Kory. And then who will be next? Who, Tim?
I mean, Tim's new, I would guess. It's not Rachel.
No.
Has Rachel worn
lived in
anything
black since the
black?
first season?
Has she worn anything that's not black? I'm really trying to think.
I don't think she has. I think she's lived in black since season 1.
And then Connor, I think he wears the same black shirt every day.
Yeah. That's in line. He's not keen on change.
So Keke Palmer and Megan Thee Stallion, they had like curly, like really curly red hair, and people are like, "This is what we could have had." This is what we could have had. It was like a deeper red too, like because Kory's hair has kind of turned to like a reddish kind of pink purple, and it's like I kind of wish it was a little bit brighter because I feel like it eats.
This.
Like, this is what we could have had.
That would have been dope if her hair was like that. That would have been so cute. And I feel like it's just really dark right now. And the lighting is not the best.
In the pictures, like when she takes regular pictures, it looks so like deep red.
Right, yeah.
We look in the show and she had black hair.
I was like, oh my God, what the hell are you doing? Like,
I just showed you on Tumblr. Her hair is like deep red. Do we ever see this? I'm going to show it again. Do we ever see it this deep red in the show?
No. Because of the lighting. They always like to film things at night and put a blue filter over it, which I've talked about. I cannot stand that blue filter. But
like, look how deep her hair looks.
Look how red that is. But even in the teaser, it wasn't that color. At least we could see that.
Dark. It was dark.
Yeah. I'm like, guys, you gotta get it together immediately.
You can't see her hair color.
Yeah, and that's why I'm afraid for these suits, because they look great in the photos that they showed us for Brother Blood and Jinx. But then you see Mother Mayhem in the dark, you can barely make out her costume really. So I'm afraid the lighting is going to ruin a lot of these wonderful colors or just costumes.
Okay, let's stick to that there. Let's get to the next thing.
Let's talk about the blue, because we hate the blue over here. We don't like the blue.
Okay, the blue for me, I don't mind as much because we're getting so many things this season that like I'm not gonna nitpick that much. I understand the frustration with the blue light because it's like you could have had her cover be any color. Why blue? And it's like people universally don't like it, so it's like, why blue? So, but there's theories that even Tegan Croft herself liked and retreated how over the time period it's going to change colors. And because like I said, because I was also confused, I'm like, why? Because I thought maybe her colors would be different in the poster, but in the poster they're still blue. Mm-hmm. So I was wondering like maybe they aren't going to change, but then that theory came around that maybe this trailer is only for part 1, so is there going to be another poster for part 2 as well?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
So then here it goes, and then you see like green streaks.
You can see a little bit of green in it, just a tiny bit.
Yeah, and then people were pointing out like, oh, like when she's about to go, people were like, oh, you see a little bit of green in the spear of it, and I'm like, maybe, but yeah, so it's like that's possibly what's going on, is that it might be elevated, but we don't know, and then maybe over time it might change. People have different theories. People have theories you see the little green in the back right there,
and then shabam, yep, the green.
So people have theories about it. Some people say that it might turn back to orange. Some people say it might turn green. Some people are hoping pink, but the pink, I feel like it's not going to happen because the theories for pink are just insane. Like someone really had a theory that, oh, well, you see when the teaser with Mother Mayhem fight that you see a pink explosion. So maybe her powers will merge with Kory. No, you're stretching it a little bit too far. That's not.
We're known to stretch, but not that much, please. Please.
That's a split.
Like that's a whole split. Like
if they keep it blue, I will genuinely be surprised because the amount of people who said they hated the blue, like no one ever said that they liked the blue. No one ever says the blue's okay, except for me probably. So it's like I'd be very surprised if they kept it, but who knows? Sometimes I don't know. Like if they do change it, I'm just wondering how they're going to explain the change. Like if they're gonna explain it in some scientific way or just some freak accident way, but just like why?
It might be some like freak accident way, because I mean the initial power change with her and Blackfire was very strange for me. It's like, okay, we already swapped who's the younger and older sister, and then we changed their powers. So it was strange, but it's okay because at least for once they explain Kory's powers, because there's a trend where she would like lose her powers or it wouldn't work, and they don't touch on that. We cut to the next season or the next scene and she's fine again. So I'm glad that we at least have an explanation, and hopefully if her powers do change, we'll get that.
See, this is some things that annoy me about the fandom. We keep jumping back and forth. I'm sorry.
I know, it's okay.
Like the fandom, they ask for too much sometimes. Like they were so excited about Gar getting a suit, and then the second they found out Gar's getting a suit, they're like, "When is Rachel getting a suit?" I'm like, "You guys never mentioned this before." And it's like they just keep asking for more. But it's like Rachel really wasn't even in the season for half of last season. So it's like her just randomly getting a suit out of nowhere would be a little weird because she barely was in the season 3.
Right. I think if she got one at the end of season 4, like part 2, I would be cool with that. But if she doesn't, I don't know. I think I'm indifferent. Like I feel like at this point she should have something that's unique to her. But at the same time, yeah, I know that's the thing. At the same time, she wears black all the time. She's worn a cloak literally since the first season. So
yeah, so it's like she kind of already, like all her clothes is kind of basically like iterations of her costume in the comics. So it's like she kind of already has a costume.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, how she looked in season 3, I thought was pretty dope. I don't know. It's weird. I want her to have one, but if she doesn't, it's not the end of the world. Gar has worn that same damn jacket since the first season. He needs this, and I'm glad that he has it. Like, yay.
When I found out that Gar was doing a suit, I remember I was in the middle of organic chemistry class, and I was like, ah! I was so excited. I was like, finally!
I saw that news, and I was like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it, because, you know, Titans lost my trust over this season. So I was like, I'll believe it when I see it. When that picture came out, I was great. It was so great. I was like, yay. Yeah. I just feel like, let's beg for a good story. Let's beg for balance. Let's beg for teamwork. Okay?
Kory.
Like, let's beg for DickKory. Well, maybe I just feel like we shouldn't have to beg for DickKory because they know what they're doing. But that's a whole nother.
They were doing with those little teasers and throughout all the seasons.
But let's beg for the basics, and then we can get to the suits and everything. Because if or when Rachel gets a suit, we already know it's going to be badass because they never fail in the costume
The
department.
suits are always top notch.
Always top notch.
Because Gar literally needs a suit because he has to become naked every single time he turns to an animal. So that was like a must have. Like he has to have a suit because he cannot keep changing out his clothes every single time. Even though we never saw it, it's just knowing he has to constantly change out his clothes.
And we saw that in season 3 when the prison fight happened, or when they were about to go to prison and then everything happened. He was in the corner like with his shirt off and they were like, what's going on? And then he changed it to a tiger and left the building after he got shot with the tranquilizer or whatever. It's like, okay, my boy needs something a little bit better, and he got it.
And he's finally getting a backstory, like a deep dive, and it's just like, yay!
Like, thank you. We've been asking for this since season 1. And they tried to fool us by giving him screen time only when it's connected to another character. Season 2 was Connor. You know, he was basically his glorified babysitter. And then season 3 was all about Jason Todd's redemption. Somehow that was on Gar, not on Dick Grayson, but it's okay.
Let's talk about some of the racism.
Yes.
People are so ignorant. Still to this day will be like, why is Starfire black? And it just gets on my nerves. I'm like, dude, we've been here for like almost 5 years. Can you let it go? And second of all, people are so ignorant because if you knew this before the media and cartoons whitewashed Starfire, she was actually based off of a black woman for a lot of the iterations of her.
Yep.
Like a lot of the 80s, a lot of the 90s and 2000s iterations of her was based off of Naomi Campbell, a dark-skinned black woman. And people were just like, well, why don't you hire a Latina or a light-skinned or a white person to play her? I'm like, she's orange. It doesn't matter. And look at her features. She has full lips. She has curves. She has great bone structure. Not saying that other ethnicities can't have this, but it's just like all these features. And then plus the Naomi Campbell tidbit. It's like, dude. And then when she first came, she had these big, luscious curls.
Right.
Like
clearly inspired by black women.
Her having straight hair, her having light skin, that was not how she first came out. She first came out looking like a black woman, but she's an alien. She can be any race she wants. But the fact that they saw her and they're like, oh, this doesn't look white. It wouldn't look any more right with a white person or a light-skinned person because it's not paying homage to what she's based off of, and it doesn't matter. And it's just like, it just gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
It's just
and
like, dude,
we were talking about this yesterday, how we think that might play into why it's taking so long for Dick and Kory to get together. Because if she were white, I guarantee you they would be in a relationship right now. There's no reason why Dick he's stuck on Dawn for basically the first 2 seasons.
Even though she's taken.
Yeah, like, and then it's Barbara, Dick Babs in the 3rd season, like all of these obstacles for what?
I'm so happy they only kissed once.
They only kissed once, and they never even talked about it. Like they didn't even address each other romantically. Like nothing happened. So why are you wasting our time? It's just, oh my god, it's insane. It's insane.
You know what's so funny is that after Anna Diop was cast as Starfire.
Mm-hmm.
All the comics, like, you know how a lot of the comics, it's Dick Babs now?
Yeah.
It's so funny because it's like the second Anna Diop was casted, all of a sudden the comic books, they kind of like pushed Kory away and then make Barbara Dick's main love interest. And it's just like disgusting.
Oh my god, I don't understand because
every comic book right now, it's all about saying like, oh, Barbara is Dick's one true love. And it's like, it literally started around the time Anna Diop was cast as Starfire.
Ooh.
So it's just like,
coincidence? I think not.
No.
To say that Barbara's his one true love, I don't really believe that.
If Barbara was his one true love, then how come in every cartoon or any media, it's always Starfire and Nightwing. It's never Barbara.
The only one I can think of in recent memory where it was Dick and Babs was Young Justice, because season 3 she was Oracle and they were together. Okay, because everybody knows Diop is a breakout. She is the moment on Titans, and I promise you, if anything happens with her and her character, the people will leave the show. They will not watch the show. Like, period. Like, her, any one of those cast members, really. But a lot of people have fallen with Anna Diop. Like, come on.
And she plays it great. Like, people are like, she's horrible. I'm like, actually, this is the first live action iteration of Starfire, and she plays it great. Like, her emotions, the way she plays it, it's great according to the comics. So I don't know what they're talking about, how she does a horrible job.
I don't see it. I feel like she's done a great job, and she continues to do a great job, even with the material that she's given. So what are you even saying? Like, come on, people. We can't play these games. I think we're at the ranting session now. Was there anything in particular with the show that just, and you want to just get it out there? There's a slew, but what are your thoughts?
I just want to know where they're going to be staying the whole season.
That's a good question.
If they're in this RV the whole season,
can you imagine?
Where's their home base at? Like, where are they gonna sleep? Where are they gonna plan? Where are they gonna like have the technology and change? Like, if it's this tiny ass RV,
I feel like we're back at season 1, because season 1 they didn't really have a home base outside the book.
But that was makes sense because they just met each other. They didn't have home base because they didn't know what was going on.
Exactly. So it's like, why are we going backwards?
Is Star Labs gonna be their home base? I'm confused.
I really miss San Fran. I miss San
Fran. I miss the Titan Tower. I only saw it on season 2, and like I said, I barely watched season 2, so I didn't really get to see much of it.
Yeah, season 2 is a blur for us folks. I missed that tower. That it just felt
because it's a great home base. It's a great home base.
Yeah, it was great. Everyone was comfortable. Everyone had their little fights there. It was great. And now they're in this RV, which is okay. But now
it's like, I mean, I get it. They're caught off guard, but I'm just like, so what's the writer's plan? Where are they going to be staying the whole season? Because they need a stable home base. They don't need a home base that's on wheels.
Right. And you mentioned, like, the RV itself looks kind of small. Like,
kind of tiny.
Yeah. In that teaser, literally, there was the back area with the couch and everything. That little table with Superboy and Timrat, and then literally a hop, and you're at the driver's seat. So,
I mean, there might be more of it in the space, but it just seems so cramped.
Yeah, there's no way that can house all 4 or 5 of them. There's just no way. They need something, and not another motel.
6 actually. There's 6 of them.
Yeah, it's 6.
I mean, if Dick and Kory share a bed that takes care of one area space.
If they're gonna be in Metropolis, I guess another one of Bruce's safe houses. I'm sure.
I mean, I don't really mind it because, see, that's why I didn't mind him staying in the manor, Wayne Manor, because it had all the essentials they needed for a home base. It was a stable place. They had the technology, and so it's like it doesn't matter where they are as long as they have a home base, but it feels like they're like when they were in the safe house, they made it feel like their space. Yeah. We didn't see a lot of the action there because they were only in there for like 2 episodes or 3, but it made it feel like their space. So I feel like wherever they stay, they're gonna make it feel like home base. I just don't want it to be the RV.
Please, writers, please. This is a 2-part season. I feel like there's no excuse to not change locations. Thank you. Was there anything else about the show or anything that's kind of like that you needed to get out?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. So, what else do we need to talk about?
Because I know everything.
We talked so much longer yesterday.
I know, because we went into like completely different topics, and we talked a lot on DickKory.
So much on DickKory.
There is so much on DickKory.
I need this. Because we're getting a mid-season break, which is gonna last over a month, because the part 1 is gonna end in early December, and they haven't said a day yet, but they just said that part 2 is gonna premiere sometime in 2023. So if part 1 ends at the beginning of December and part 2 is in sometime in 2023, even if we don't have a date, I still know that's at least a month at minimum of waiting time. And that's a lot of time.
It is.
Smart play. It's a smart move because we want to get a season 5. And to do that, we need to build the hype. So it's a smart business decision. I just hate it for myself. Oh, sorry, just on my throat.
Oh, you're good.
So it's like, Dick and Kory, I swear, by the time season 6 airs, I need more than funny. I need a kiss. I need a sex scene. I need a love.
We can't bank on season 1 anymore. We can't.
Yeah, we need to let episode 5 together rest. It's done its job. We need to retire.
I want them to actually not just have a physical relationship. I want all of it. Like, all of it. We deserve all of it.
Knowing that we're gonna get that little snuggle scene in the first episode, I'm excited. But see, this is what they like to do. This is why I'm scared, because they like to feed us and then they like to starve us for a long period of time and then they feed us again. It's like, no, I need constant.
Yeah, especially you're in an RV. You're in a confined space for long periods of time. There's no way you're not going to communicate.
You're saying that like you're going to be in the RV the whole season.
I know, but I think not. But for at least a good portion of the beginning, you're gonna be in an RV. There's no way you cannot talk to one another. Like, you have to have these conversations or these moments where you brush arms or you fall asleep. You know, like
just like, look, this is the moment. Every time I see this, it makes me go.
And he's looking at her, just smiling, and they're drinking what looks to be a kind of
my milkshake things.
It looks to be kind of a bland.
I know that this is the first episode, so it's like I'm gonna get a little bit of content. And I just want to know what leads up to this moment, because
yeah, me too.
I've done anything like this before on screen, so it's like I need to know. Like I said, that theory, like, oh, he says he sees a red balloon, he thinks of Mari, he looks at Kory, says something sweet, and then she does that to him. I was like, I need to know what leads up to this moment, because
I think your theory is the best bet, and I really hope that happens, because otherwise, how are you going to explain this? Last season...
I mean, I don't care. Even if they had no social, I don't care, as long as I'm getting it.
It's like, but last season, like, they weren't even...
She's like, oh, you broke up with Barbara?
Oh, okay. And when they weren't arguing about Jason, they were off doing separate things, so they were barely in contact with one another.
But that's what I mean when they nitpick everything. Like, people will always find something to complain about the show. They will always, even the haters, like the amount of people who like, they say this show sucks. Like on Twitter the other day, somebody was like, hey, I'm thinking about watching these DC shows. Which ones are good? And it was Watchmen, Doom Patrol, Swamp Thing, and Titans. And almost every single comment was like, oh, watch every single one except for Titans. And I'm like, the hate that this show gets, it's insane, because there's so many shows that have the same problem as Titans, but they are loved for some reason. And I'm just like, why?
I don't
it's not perfect. Is it perfect? No. But
no.
Like the fact that you're like, this show is garbage. I'm like, because people are like, oh, why is Dick Grayson so violent? That's more Jason Todd. I'm like, it's not Teen Titans. It is Titans. It is a darker version of it. It's not gonna be sunshines and rainbows. It's an iteration. It's not supposed to be copy and paste from the comics. And that's what just annoys me. They always talk about the smallest things. I'm like, dude, this is not Teen Titans. It is Titans. They are not teenagers. They are grown adults, and it plays into his character and it plays into his story. So it just makes me so angry, like the hate the show gets, which is why I was so happy at Comic-Con. It stole the show.
Oh, period.
Like, I wasn't expecting it to, but it took all the attention at Comic-Con, which was such like a great thing, because I just loved how people were like, the fans have like kind of like reunited and pushed through all the negativity. It was like, this show is great. Like, it was trending on Twitter for like 5 days straight. It already has a million views for the trailer, and the trailer hasn't even been up for a week. And it's just like, I'm happy that the show's finally getting the positive recognition that it deserves, because it's not horrible. Is it perfect? No, but no show is. But it's just people will pick on this. And once again, I think this is also just start off by the fact that people hate on the show the second they casted a dark-skinned actress. People hate on the show the second they found out that Brooke Dason was a little bit violent. It's like, they just see it, and if it's not exactly what they want, they hate on it so much. And it's like, I'm just happy the show's finally getting the positive recognition that it deserves.
The Titans season 4 trailer right now has 2.4 million views.
Oh crap! Because yesterday it was at
1.7, and that was it's been out for 3 days. So period. Like, we're pulling the numbers.
Like, oh my god, can be so refreshing to watch the season about the bird people. What if Dawn came back and then everybody said those herbal compliments? Like, oh.
I don't want Dawn to come back. Dawn can just stay right where she is.
I don't really like Dawn. I just realized that I don't really care for her.
I don't care. I didn't care for either.
I care for Hank more than Dawn, because at least Hank made me laugh.
True. Dawn
just seemed like she didn't know what she wanted to do. And she, first of all, she clearly still had feelings for Dick, but was still like trying to. And I understood why Hank was jealous, because it's like, girl, it's so obvious that you still have feelings for Dick, and you're still over him.
Right, like, girl, why are you playing with Hank? And
you know, when Hank died, she basically asked Dick to come to Paris with her. I'm like, oh
my god. This reminds me of Spider-Man that we were watching yesterday with Mary Jane, just swooping in once the initial barrier is gone. It's just so weird. Like, and even beyond that, like, the way that they utilized that's what it was like. And it's like, even when the way they utilized Hawk and Dove, they kind of overtook the entire show, because they had full episodes dedicated to just these two people. They have like 5
episodes that are named like Hawk and Dove, Hank and Dove, Hank and Dawn.
It didn't connect to the main story. It didn't connect to the Titans. It was just about them, and it's like, we don't care. Put them on a separate show. Like, we don't care. Oh my god. I think I got all my ranting out.
Yeah, me too. My stomach just growled.
Oh my god. Guys, that means it's time for us to eat.
Yeah, and then you know what? We're probably gonna hang out after this and continue watching Speed Racer.
Oh my god, Speed Racer! That was actually surprisingly good.
I told you it was good, because she first said that she could get into it because she watched the movie first. I'm like, how you can't? That's not what it's supposed to be like.
How dare you?
Even though it's from the 60s, it's still pretty funny and good.
It was not bad at all. All right, well, I'm not gonna hold you so we can go eat and everything. This was our collab, guys. We talked about Titans. We kind of went all over the map. So
just like the show.
Yes, we are very excited for season. Just like the show. So, you know, we're very excited for season 4. Things are looking stable. Things are looking great.
Well, stable for a while till Butter Blood. But you know what? That's okay, because that's the unstable thing we want. As long as it's caused by the villain and not the actual team,
yes,
or the writing, we're fine with that.
Have the team stay together. No separation, please. But guys, this is our collab. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for responding to my comment. I was so nervous.
Of course. This was so fun. And we will catch you guys on the next time we collab. I will have the channel link in the description and everything. But
same here for my channel.
So we will we'll be back at some point. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
Bye.